Hi there, and welcome again to Capacity for English, Abilities to Empower. Today we're going to talk about beer, one of the most antique and oldest beverages in human history. Its origin dates back to 5,000 years ago from Mesopotamia and Egypt, where Egyptians used to ferment this alcoholic beverage. But let's analyze its raw materials and ingredients constituted in this very famous beverage. Let's go for it. Well, connoisseur people, moving on to raw materials, which are the main ingredients in the process of brewing of beer. For instance, we have barley, which is a tall plant like grass with straight hairs from the head of each stem, which is used for food and for making beer, but also whiskey. Is resistant to low temperatures and high salinity. It is the main ingredient in most of the beers. Next one, we have also wheat. Grupo Modelo has very interesting, tasty, and worth to pay the price of these beers. I suggest you to buy one of those. The wheat is also an ingredient which is found in pieces of bread in bakery. But we can also mention the rye as another cereal in the process of brewing. It's important to point out that beers can made of one of these elements, but not the three at the same time. So let's continue analyzing the raw materials, guys. Let's do it and let's go for it. Furthermore, we can find some other elements in the process of brewing of beer, such as hops, which are the dry female conical flower petals from this plant, and which are toasted and mixed with water to add flavor. They grow in wet and lukewarm temperatures. They are highly resistant to winter and they grow from July to September in the North Hemisphere. It means Canada and the United States. They are rich in lupulin, which are bitter small golden glands. That's the reason why they give a sour taste to the beer. Besides that, we can mention the adjuncts, which are ground pre-cooked grains without germination and a source of starch, with fermentable sugars added to the wort. They can be rice, corn, semolina, wheat, sorghum, oat, tapioca, barley, and sugar. In fact, they reduce the cost of production, and they are responsible of the full-bodied or light-bodied of the beers. In the United States, beer are made of 60% of additives, adjuncts, and 40% of malt. And also, they reduce the tannins in beer. Finally, we have the yeast, which is a grayish-brown fungus that is used to make alcoholic drinks and causes bread to become light and full of air. It is used to pump up bread, though it turns sugar into alcohol and gives carbonic gas dioxide to the fermentation process, CO2. It can be fresh or dried. And now, guys, let's check the different types of beers. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, let's analyze the different types of beers we usually have in the market. For instance, lager. Well, the term of this beer in German language means warehouse, to store or storage, whose fermentation is completed slowly by having the beer stored from 6 weeks to 6 months to allow fermentation and sedimentation. Bottom yeast is used in the process of this kind of beer for a low fermentation. It is not very alcoholic, only from 3 to 6% per volume. It's light volume and light colored. Most of the beers produced in Mexico belong to this kind because of the Mexican regulations. Then we have the following type of beer, ale. It comes from the British Islands with a pungent hops smell and taste. Top yeast is used in the process of this kind of beer for a high fermentation. It consists of a fast 3 to 5 days and warm fermentation, 14 to 25 Celsius degrees. It has a greater alcoholic content than lager beers, up to 10% per volume, and it's bitterer. It's full-bodied with a fruity taste resembling those found in apples, pears, pineapples, bananas, plums, cherries, or prunes. It means that it has a more complex scent than lagers. It can be brown, pale, or golden. Then we have the next type of beer, which is my favorite, the stout. All right, it comes from Ireland It has a high top yeast fermentation, such as in ale beers. It is similar to porter beers, with chocolate flavors and scent, but with a sweeter and bitterer toasted taste thanks to the adjuncts from coffee, oatmeal, and milk sugar added. It is a heavier bodied, creamy, silky beer with a thick, persistent head. That is the foam at the top of the beer. It is a black beer because very dark malt is used in the brewing, such as in Guinness beer. The name of this beer means vigorous or brave, according to the dictionary. End to end, guys, we can check the draft beer, okay, which is a drawn or available beer from a keg, cask, or barrel. It usually doesn't have the pasteurization process. It is infused with beer gas, a blend of nitrogen and carbon dioxide, while bottled beer is carbonated with carbon dioxide alone. So, well, we have finished with these different types of beers and characteristics and the process of brewing. So, if you need more information, please don't hesitate to contact us at www.capacityforenglish.com. Please, if you are working in the catering industry, we can serve you and we can teach you how to taste wines and everything related to the culinary arts. We are at your service. Have an excellent day and we see us in a future video. Goodbye.